Fit for Life Radio, episode number 56, I believe.
I have no
Second
idea.
Yep, 56.
I was wondering what you were going to say because I didn't know if it was like 54 or 55.
In the thralls of shutdown, coronavirus shutdown.
We had really been on a roll.
I know, with the podcasting. Now we just had an empty gym. We could podcast 24/7.
And we haven't done it at all.
Just start our own news channel.
I mean, like John Krasinski did.
Ben can be like the one. What's the is it Family Guy or The Simpsons, where they're like they have the newscast and there's always the random dude they cut to, and he's like, "You want to pet this dog?"
I think that's Family Guy.
Family Guy.
Yeah, I think so. That would be Ben. That's perfect.
Like, then they cut right away from him.
Is it the same dude? They go to him. He's like, "It's gonna rain."
Yeah.
And then that's it. That's the whole thing. No, I think that's Family Guy.
So today we're going to talk about, a lot of people feel out of control, and they start getting anxiety and stress over all this stuff. That's kind of what's tricky with the virus is you can't see it.
Yeah.
So it gets in people's
It's like
heads.
the boogeyman.
And then with the change of
routine
for a lot of people, it's just
jobs and money, and I get it, but
So you kind of have three things you're looking at here, right? You have what you have total control over, some control, no control.
Let's go in each one.
And let's start on the outside there. No control.
No control.
Because a lot of times what stresses everyone out the most is the stuff they have no control over.
Yep. Let's give a couple examples, right?
Right, like a virus.
Yeah.
Right? Not much you can do about it. It exists.
Yeah, like you can't see it, and I know we can all do what we can to not get our faces sneezed on and breathed on, things like that, but you still can't see it.
Yep.
Can't control. You can't see it and, dodge left and be like, "Oh, I'm good."
Yeah.
So that freaks people out a lot, not knowing where it's at. Do I have it? I don't know. But what can you do?
Yeah. No control.
It's there.
Just like the weather.
Yep.
Just like other people's thoughts and actions, which is a big one. A lot of people worry about that, and it's like, what does it even matter? And then, then other random stuff like, shoe size.
Yeah, like it's just always going to be the same.
Beard size.
How tall you are. Things like that. So,
so really, jot down a list, make a list. Things I have no control over, and then kind of like realize you can ball that list up and throw it away.
Yeah.
Then now let's jump to the other end.
Yep.
Before we get to the middle, which is where most things are, which is the things you have total control over, right? And that's where most of your focus should be, even when things feel out of control. Double down on what you can control, right? So like a virus, like I can't control it, but you can control washing your hands. You can control your environment that you're in, right? So you can clean your counters. You can, in this situation, not surround yourself with really any people.
Yep. The things that you eat.
Yep.
Things you put in your
support
body.
Your immune system.
Yep.
So, those are all things you control. And really, that can boil down to, on a broad thing, you have it's your actions, your mindset, and your effort. Right? So those three things, your actions, your mindset, your effort, that's what you have total control over.
Yeah, that's everything. That's
what's going to matter. Like anything that kind of falls under those is where you should spend your thoughts and actions.
Yeah, and that would be useful to, on the flip side, like write all those things down. What are all the things that I can control and I can take action on? And that's the list that you should be really keeping, aside from the other one that you should ball up and throw away and just discard because there's nothing that you can do to address all of those things.
Yep. And even if it's something like your health and fitness, right? Like you can, you can't scroll through Instagram and see someone else and worry about what they're doing or maybe something that's different. And all you can do is control your actions, right?
Yep.
Are you, lifting weights a couple times a week? Are you moving? Are you eating what you need to eat? Those are the things that matter. The result of your physique and your body and your energy and all that, like you don't really have control over that. You just have control over those actions, your effort, which then manifests itself in
results of some kind.
Yeah.
I mean, that's if we want to have a fitness analogy, that'd be like me, because I mean we're actually all, we'll say, smaller frame guys, but looking at someone on Instagram that's like 6'2", 6'3", really broad shoulders, small waist, jacked, and I'm like, damn, like I want a physique like that. Well, you're 5'8" and you have small bones. Like there's
Yeah.
no way you're going to look like that. Like I can't change my structure. So that'd be something stupid for me to worry about. Like, oh, I'm never going to look like that. That's completely out of my control. But what I can do is lift, eat well, and, get to whatever my
Uh,
ceiling is.
you come in one day with a shaved head and that
The mesh,
that Hawaiian tattoo on your chest, just like
bro.
The Rock. But you don't say no. No one's like, "Come on, Will,
What are you doing?
you're not going to be The Rock."
Real tan.
Yeah. You just get a spray tan every day.
And everyone just lets it ride.
Yeah. Everything you say is motivational.
I'm just like real pumped up. Start wearing Under Armour all the time.
Oh man. And then some things you have some control over. And this is really where, there's a lot of give and take and learning, kind of ebb and flow, which is your schedule, the people you surround yourself, your home and work environment. And, these make a big difference, right? 'Cause,
Yes.
again, you can't always control your family and your
No.
coworkers, right? But you can maybe control a little bit, like how much time you spend around certain people,
Yep.
or your home environment. You can maybe control, for example, like your food, right? The food that's in your pantries, or maybe you can't all the way. So those are very nuanced, and
They usually do require compromise or some type of solution that may not be exactly what you would ideally want, but is a step in a better direction, Like I know a lot of people at work, well, when we are at work, they have people that bring in donuts all the time and things like that. And you can only control that so much. Like
Yeah.
you can ask people not to do it or whatever, but at the end of the day, other people are going to do what they want. So, your compromise might be, all right, well, I'm not going into that break room or whatever it is, because I will eat them if I go in there,
Yeah.
and that's a nuanced thing, and you can control, your little piece of the puzzle, but they're still going to bring that crap in no matter what.
Mm-hmm. And a good example is, it's interesting to see how with the quarantine, coronavirus, right? So a lot of people, it's like you either go one way or the other depending on your habits and your home environment that you've established. So I know for me, most of the time, the home environment's the way I want it and have it, right? So, the foods that we bring in the house, and normally I'll have more fun foods and drinking and things like that are social stuff. So for me, I'm like, man, this is a time where actually it's gonna, like, if I really wanted to, like, it'd be easier to get as lean as possible,
Yeah.
or whatever, just because there's no socializing, right? That's where I'll be looser with my decisions. Where some people, once the lockdown goes down, they start panicking, right? Because they're like, man, I'm gonna sit at home and snack all day and do this and that, and then maybe their home environment's not conducive to their goals, right? And then so you really learn quickly
Yeah.
how much. So in that kind of middle, of things you have some control over, like if you need to move things around, change things around. So instead of worrying about, I, this virus is messing everything up and quarantining me, and now I'm going to snack a bunch.
No.
You have no control over that. That is what it is. That's
Yeah.
what the government said to do. That's the virus.
That's what we have to do.
You have no control over those two things. All right, so don't spend time and energy blaming those things. And I get it; it's like fun at first, like, and you can make memes and jokes about it. But don't do the passive aggressive thing where it's like hee ha ha ha, and you act the woe is me. Like, okay, eventually buckle down, and then you have control over your home environment. So focus on that. Don't blame the government's mandates.
Yeah.
You have control over your home environment, and then your actions and thoughts.
Yeah. And then for a lot of us, like, you're buying all of your groceries. Some people are going out to eat and getting takeout and stuff, but most of us are spending a lot more time at home. And if you don't want a freaking snack, then don't buy the snacks. Point blank, that's probably your easiest thing to do, especially with how much time we're at home. And if you have kids, don't buy snacks. I don't know. They can eat regular food because there's no kids' food. It's
Yeah.
all adult food. It's all human food. So like and that might be hard because, I don't live with kids and have to deal with them. So, but yeah, like don't buy them because you have to say no to them once at the store, and you have to say no to them 300 times during the week at your house. So it's a little easier to make that decision to just not bring them in because you are in control of whether you bring them in the house or not. So that's another thing that you can do, and it might take flexing a little bit when you're at the store to be like, you know what, I don't need this, especially if you find yourself mindlessly just eating all day because it's there.
Yeah. And just find different go-to like meals or snacks, right? I know, yeah, like I am somewhat at home more, right? And sometimes you do get bored. So I've loaded up on non-fat Greek yogurt. We have a bunch of protein powder.
Yep.
Luckily here at the gym we got all those million different flavors. So I'm like, oh, I'll try some of these. But if I really, really am bored, like and I'm fine during the day. Um, Man, for me it's like dinner time and like watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll if I want a little dessert, I'll just mix up a scoop of protein powder with some plain Greek yogurt to kind of just munch on.
Give you
And
something.
and it's like which is pure protein
Oh yeah, that's
and
basically
not a
all it
ton of
is.
calories, right? So it's just finding those things, right? Or like popcorn. Like if
Yep.
you make your own popcorn, you could.
That's what I've been doing.
The volume is so big.
I've been doing because we have an air popper. I just put it in there and then put some salt on it, and it's dude a giant bowl, like a full mixing bowl is like 190 calories.
Yeah.
And it's the best thing ever. And so if I want something, like I'll plan for it and have that. Otherwise, it's blueberries. That and a bowl of blueberries is pretty much all I'm gonna go for. But I have it set. Like those are your snacks. That's what you're gonna eat.
Yeah.
And it's actually been working. I've had an easier time in quarantine eating than pretty much ever. I don't know why. Maybe something just a switch flipped, but
Yep.
it's been super easy. I just eat the same thing. I'm a Greek yogurt for breakfast, burgers for lunch, and then something lean for dinner, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And I know Whitney's been doing really well too. So whatever it is, we've had a pretty easy time adjusting and keeping things super simple.
Then on the other side, that there's the exercise side of the equation, right? Which also freaks a lot of people out with, and you learn the power of having, especially like a gym to go to, and how it's nice having that third environment. We're learning how hard it is to work out at home, how it gets old quick, and you really have to just reframe your mindset to, I just need to do something active, right?
Yes.
It's really about keeping that habit. You may not be able to, look, I'll be straight up. It's funny, we talked about it right when it happened, all the at-home workouts, and you get bombarded with them from everyone. We have them, and
Oh yeah.
and everyone does, right? But it's funny because, and we might have talked about this before in another podcast before all this, body weight type exercises are really more advanced.
Yeah, there's a
right?
skill to them.
It's
And they're
hard.
dependent on your body weight.
Yeah,
And
it's hard
your
to
lean
get a
body
lot
mass.
out of it. Yeah, because most people, if they're not strong enough to handle their own body weight, so it helps to be at a lower body composition, body fat percentage. And if you're not, it's a huge disadvantage.
It's tough,
right? So you're limited to what you can do, how many reps you can do. So for most people, we'll just to keep it simple, push up, right? Yeah, for a lot of people, even like a push up's like a 3-4
rep max. Yeah,
right?
and maybe even a 1 rep max for some people.
So then for that person, a dumbbell press is so much better, because they can use an appropriate weight and, work a little bit higher rep range, which is going to be a little safer and make small, you
incremental changes.
Yeah, incremental progress. It's just more effective, right?
Yep.
And yeah, so a lot of people now don't have access to that. So it's, then they'll get frustrated with, like we were getting a lot of questions. How can I, they're not even able to make the exercise or workouts challenging enough because you can't really do as much, right?
Yeah.
So then people get frustrated. And then another thing we run into is, a lot of these workouts involve a lot of jumping.
Yeah.
So like hopping and jumping and lateral stuff.
And that can be tough on people.
It's tough on like your knees and stuff. And again, if you're a higher body composition, it's a lot of weight, a lot of jarring. So, you get a lot of that achy joints, pain.
If you know me, you know I'm always on the run, up early and home late. So having a 3-hour morning routine isn't really in the cards for me. What is in the cards is AG1. It's a fast way to get vitamins and minerals I need to perform. I first gave AG1 a try because I wanted a single solution that helps support my entire body by filling in nutrient gaps and simplifying my morning routine. Since drinking AG1 daily, I've always felt strong and energized and ready to attack the day. Not only does AG1 deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre and probiotics, and more, it's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. It's one scoop, mixed in water, once a day, and every day. I know that AG1 is giving my body high-quality nutrition. Every batch of AG1 goes through a rigorous testing process, so you know that it's safe. And AG1 ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrition density. AG1 is a supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. Here is your chance to start every day this season with a gift to yourself. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/provengrit. That's drinkag1.com/provengrit. Check it out. If you know me, you know I'm always on the run, up early and home late, so having a 3-hour morning routine isn't really in the cards for me. What is in the cards is AG1. It's a fast way to get vitamins and minerals I need to perform. I first gave AG1 a try because I wanted a single solution that helps support my entire body by filling in nutrient gaps and simplifying my morning routine. Since drinking AG1 daily, I've always felt strong and energized and ready to attack the day. Not only does AG1 deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre and probiotics, and more, it's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. It's one scoop, mixed in water, once a day, and every day. I know that AG1 is giving my body high-quality nutrition. Every batch of AG1 goes through a rigorous testing process, so you know that it's safe. And AG1 ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrition density. AG1 is a supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. Here is your chance to start every day this season with a gift to yourself. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/provengrit. That's drinkag1.com/provengrit. Check it out.
So really you just want to understand that find something you can do, whether it's maybe going on more walks, maybe it's just doing kind of strength stuff, so you find something that's 20 pounds, right, a big old water jug or something
Man.
where you can do like 1-arm rows and presses, and just you find what you can do and understand it may be a super small pool of exercises, but then just make sure you do them and and create some kind of time slot and reframe that exercise habit into what you can control.
And there's plenty of stuff that you can use to work out. Like, I guarantee you have plenty of stuff around your
We
house.
sell if you have a big dog, the dog food bag. I mean, that's 20 to 30
actually,
pounds.
dog food bag is legit. Or, dude, if you have a rock at your house, like one of those river rocks, dude, you could pick that up and you can press with it. You can hold it to squat, lunge.
What if you have
pretty much anything?
the rock?
Oh,
Then that's just a deadlift.
Then you're good, baby. You're good. But yeah, like, you can turn in and get creative. There's no saying that you have to do everything perfect. You have to do a perfect dumbbell press like you had dumbbells or anything like that. Dude, you can do whatever. I've seen people doing lateral raises with really light chairs, or front raises.
Said orange juice works really good.
Yeah.
They got those narrow tops.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, get creative. Don't be afraid to step out of the box and do stuff that is not traditional.
Yeah.
Okay? And two, like, it's sometimes a little more engaging and fun to just make it creative and have a good time and not put so much pressure on yourself to do exactly what maybe you were doing in the gym before. And like Gary said, we're seeing a lot more people walk, which is great. And I think it's something that is good to maintain all the time because we all are pretty decent walkers. But that's a good habit to have. It gets your NEAT up. I think we've covered NEAT before. Your non-exercise activity, basically. So that's an important habit. So that's a good one you can shift to and just get a lot of steps in. Have I don't know, maybe a 30-minute slot for your workouts. That's it.
Yeah.
2 to 3 days a week of training.
And if you do have like a pair of dumbbells or some weight, then people get frustrated with that because they only have one pair, right? But the good thing is, as far as like maintaining muscle, building muscle, getting all the health benefits from working out, you can just do more reps, right? It's
Yeah.
pretty shown and proven. Like, say you take a heavy weight and you kind of push to muscular failure, and and that's 6 reps, right? If you kind of still push to that same effort, say with a lot lighter weight, and you end up failing around 19 reps, it's basically the same thing.
Yep.
Right. And they really see it from like 5 to 30 reps. So if you have a weight that basically you can push to failure and be at least under 30 reps, it's going to be super productive,
That's
So
that's
just
what I've been
reframe.
doing.
Yeah.
So I have a pair of 30s at the house, and like my normal press is like 60 or 65 if I was doing dumbbell press. So that's pretty light for me. And then we have a 25-pound kettlebell and a 40-pound kettlebell. And that's it. That's pretty much all we're working with. So my floor press, I've been using 30s, and I've been getting like 3 sets of 25. But I get to that point where, I can barely get my last rep out. I'm basically knocking on failure's door, and that's just where I've been operating for my floor press type stuff. Same thing with my one-arm rows. A 44-pound kettlebell, I just do it as many times as possible.
Yeah.
I'm not getting upwards of like 20 reps, but right now my goal is just do more reps, and over time it's the only weights I have. So if I can just keep upping those reps, then I'll be good. Now if I get to 30 reps on my press, I'll probably just add another set in. But it's as simple as that. So if you do have weights that aren't what you're used to working with, that's the easiest thing to do. So even if, say, we prescribe something in a workout that says, oh, do 15 reps. Well, if the weight that you have lets you do way more, or, you can do way more than that, then just do way more than that.
Yeah.
Simple way to approach most exercises when you're at a set weight is to just push it, until you're almost at failure.
Yep.
So simple rule to have really in quarantine if you do have, minimal weights, which I know some people do. Some people have reached out to us and asked for training stuff and
just find some exercises to then track and push. Don't just do everything randomly and hodgepodge.
Yeah.
So kind of settle in, be like, okay, some good ones. If you do have a set of dumbbells, is floor press, one arm row. There's your push. There's your pull.
Boom.
You could do a goblet squat. Another good one is like a rear foot elevated split squat. For body weight alone, that's enough for most people.
Yeah.
And push for rep PRs on those exercises, and then you can do some curls and band curls and just other stuff. But find those key exercises. So like when the program we do at the gym, is we normally have people focus on, and also with our online programs, like a dumbbell press, a row.
Yep.
And then we normally do like a trap bar deadlift. Obviously people don't have that, so do like a rear foot elevated split squat, which is what we do with our online clients. And then
just keep trying to get better at them. Do more reps, and that's it. So and don't stress doing a million exercises. I've been keeping my workouts to like 4 exercises for the most part. Just do 4. I might hit 3 work sets, and that's it. I just do it really well, try to improve every time. So don't stress having to do everything. Just get a couple that give you a good bang for your buck, that you can really improve on, you can do consistently, that don't hurt in any way, and just keep rocking them out. It's not perfect. You're going to be missing some stuff. Vertical pulling, so pull downs and pull ups and things like that. If you don't have a pull up bar, it's pretty much, impossible to do at home, but you can still do one arm rows and things like that. So, don't stress it. Keep it simple, and almost hit failure. That's it.
I want to go over. Got some good. So I had a little video yesterday on Instagram, just like what's something you started doing during the quarantine that you hope and you're going to make an effort to keep doing when it's all over. You're glad you picked up, and normally I'll you ask questions in the video. You don't expect anyone to respond, but so I noticed you have to like type out things because a lot of people don't listen to stuff, right? So if you don't kind of type little headlines, a lot of people just don't. They just flow right through. But anyways, they actually do listen. So some good ones were, let's see. All right. So someone had said walking.
Yep.
So just to be clear, so I asked, what's something that you started doing that you want to keep doing, you've kind of learned that you enjoy. So one guy, Jay, shout out to Jay out in
Shoot.
Chi-Town. He is walking, been getting in 3 to 4 walks each week of around 30 to 40 minutes.
Solid, man.
Then we had Brooke, and she also said walking. 15 minutes at lunch and 15 minutes right after work for almost 3 weeks.
Love it.
And the key is she's been consistent. It almost seems too simple, but once you kind of string it together, you start to see the benefits. And the cool thing about that, this may not have been her intention, but this has been key for myself as well, is like you need triggers for it, right? I don't just schedule it in a day if you want, or kind of like the way she mentioned it's like a trigger, right? Walking 15 minutes at lunch and at least 15 minutes right after work, right? So that means boom, work's over, all of a sudden you go for a walk. That's
Yep.
what you do. Boom, lunch, I just finished lunch, I go for a walk. And I also like how she said at least 15 minutes right after work instead of saying I'm going to do a 45-minute walk after work.
Yep.
Just start really small. So what I do is I say I'm going to do a 10-minute walk after each meal, breakfast, lunch,
That's what we've been doing.
and dinner. And sometimes if I just go down the next street and back, which is 10 minutes, that's fine. But you'll find a lot of times when you get going, especially if the weather's nice,
Oh,
or
you
you're
just keep
feeling
going.
You'll just keep going.
Yeah.
And then you may end up doing more, but a lot of times I would find myself before, I'll say, I need to do a 45-minute walk, right? And I would just talk myself out of it, not even get
Yeah,
started.
it's so easy to do that.
So start small and keep it small, right?
Yeah.
So just say I'm going to do a 10-minute walk, and a lot of times it'll turn into more, and then kind of have those triggers.
I think the meal one's easy. That's easy for us. We literally finish our meal, put the dishes
Yeah.
up, and then go outside.
Yep.
And that's what we've been doing. It's been nice. So if you have the ability to do it, that's a really easy trigger because we're all eating right now. So, yeah.
Then we had, here it is. So AJ had a good one. I stopped checking social media immediately after waking up. I usually wake up and then just scroll through my phone for an hour before doing anything else. Now I wake up and immediately brush my teeth and make coffee. So, and then you'll, find that typically is followed by something else productive. And again, same thing as triggers, right?
Yep.
Like she would wake up, waking up was then the trigger to scroll on social media. So you have to kind of break that, replace it with
which she's done.
brushing your teeth, getting your coffee.
Yep.
But yeah, I thought that was a really good one because I know a lot of people probably fall into that trap.
Yeah, and I think Diego and I talked about it, but having just something to start your day is important. Whatever it is, but having one thing, like, especially everyone has such an open schedule for the most part right now. I know some people are working and your schedule is the same and you're still going to work, but if you're not, you're at home, it's just a lot more loose. You have no drive time. Bedtime might be messed up, so it's easy to just kind of sloth around all day. So having something like getting up and making coffee every day can just kind of help you, like, boom, I'm at small accomplishment, made coffee, and that helps kind of knock down, bigger dominoes as your day goes on, and you'll be a little more productive. So I think that's helpful for just kind of having some type of structure right now.
And then the knock is someone listening could say, well, checking social media is my structure. The problem with that is it's reactive.
Yes.
So you're not proactively doing anything. You're just reactively reacting to
Scrolling.
to a bunch of what everyone else is doing.
Yep. Whereas, if you're making coffee or going for a walk, that's you taking an action yourself versus just mindlessly scrolling, getting lost for 45 minutes or so.
Falling down that rabbit hole.
It's easy, especially right now. Actually, I've noticed, man, I have no desire. Everything, it's just all the same.
Yeah, it just melts together. I actually went through yesterday and kind of spring clean, unfollowed a bunch of stuff and
you just need to,
made sure my emails was, unsubscribed and all that stuff.
I should probably do that. That's a good idea. Now's a good time for it.
Yep.
Damn.
And really on social media, it's like, I try to just follow people I know in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to do the same. I have some people I do follow, but
there's certain people you learn from.
I'm pretty stingy about follows. Like I don't know. I don't follow very many people very easily. So I got to really, I don't know.
Yeah.
I got to really care about what you have to say, I feel, to follow
Yeah.
you. So I'm not one to just follow.
All right. And remember, that's part of, it seems silly, but, you know, part of the sphere of what you have control over, right? So your circle, the people that surround you,
Yeah.
and, you know, they're not surrounding you in person, but, you know, everything you follow on social media is
That
like,
affects
you're
you.
seeing it, it's affecting you. So make sure it brings you joy.
That's a really good point. And I hadn't thought of it until you just said it, but like you're associating with all those people
Yeah.
and you are in full control over, you know, there's got to be someone on your Facebook that you see and you're like, I just hate this person, or
Yeah.
they say the dumbest stuff. Well, you have the choice to remove them or not.
And the thing that gets me when I see like people follow like 2,000 people on Instagram, I'm like, well, how do you even get to see the stuff you really want to see? Like, it's going to get, you know, if you have
Yeah.
all these people, I feel like you're going to lose
A
the
lot of
stuff
it.
you want, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it's a good time to trim that down, I think. You know, focus on the people you truly enjoy and the people, the information that you do like. Like for me, it's all my cooking stuff I love seeing. And that brings me a lot of joy.
And because look at the news, right? If you're like
Oh,
wrapped up in
God.
all the virus stuff and the government stuff, that's stuff you can't
Dude,
even control.
and the sky is falling if that's
Yeah.
all you're reading right now, like that.
And then it's just feeding you stressing over something you have no control over.
It brings you down
There's nothing we can do
to change the
to
virus.
change that, right? So it's again, wash your hands, schedule your workout, go for a walk.
Yeah.
You know, don't eat Poptarts 24/7.
Yeah. Maybe just one day a week.
Dude, did you see? I don't even know where I saw it. Speaking of Instagram, I had to admit Instagram. There was like melted cheese on Pop-Tarts, and then it was like
Don't. No. Don't even say it.
like, and then it was like a WTF type comment.
Dude, people are getting too creative right now.
Mm.
People are starting to lose it. So if you put cheese on a Pop-Tart, I'm coming for you.
Because then you're getting into like, I mean, why don't you just put cheese on like an English muffin or something?
Yeah.
Like, melt that
Mess
up.
with a Pop-Tart.
Like
It's
what?
like a cheese Danish.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't support it.
You know that. Next thing you know, we're gonna be on cheese balls again.
Nah, let's stay far away from cheese balls.
We made it. We made it to cheese again.
Come on, man.
We should see if we can make it to cheese every podcast.
We might be able to.
We weren't even trying.
Nah, that just happened.
All right, guys and girls. So again, remember, control. Focus on what you have total control over, some control over. The best thing to do, the biggest takeaway, make a list, right? If you're
Yes.
feeling stressed, you have anxiety, all right, get out some paper, pencil, pen, make a list. Write down everything you have no control over. You know, realize you can just X that off. What do I have control over? And ultimately, it's going to come down to, you know, your actions, your effort, your thoughts. Focus on those things.
Yep. So, and that should help, and it just gives you something to keep going back to, something to keep you a little bit more grounded. You know, maybe when you are worrying about the virus and things you can't control, getting struck by lightning and things like that, you can have that rock to kind of lean on of things that you know that you can do.
All right. Hopefully that helps you guys.
Felt good to be back.
I know.
God.
You probably probably not driving anywhere as much, so
Yeah. Whatever.
give it a listen while you're laying on your couch.
Yeah.
Once you burn through what's that Tiger guy? Tiger show?
I don't even know. Tiger King?
Tiger King.
I haven't watched it.
Burn through Tiger King. We're almost done with Ozark.
I decided I'm going to watch that on my own. I got to get in. I'm just going to start at the beginning again.
You know what's fun? I don't listen to any podcasts.
I haven't listened. The only one I ever really listened to, Mind Pump, I enjoy every once in a while, but I don't really.
Alexis listened, and she started. I hadn't heard it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
There's some podcasts of some two chicks that talk about murders,
That's legit.
and
That sounds like her type of podcast.
I heard her listening to it again. I get real nervous. Like,
She's getting ideas.
if she did this, it would be the greatest thing ever. If she just like was listening to it and would pull out like a little notebook from time to time, but she wouldn't even have to write on it, but just pretend to write. But like when I
and you catch it out like the
and
corner of your
I
eye.
just see her like, you know.
Start losing sleep.
All right, so yep, Fit for Life Radio should be your
At home listening. Easy
listening.
listening. We'll be back. I mean, we don't have anything else to do, so we're rolling
going
again.
live in our members group here soon.
Yep.
All right,
Bye.
see ya.
As always, thanks for listening, guys. If you want to learn more, check us out at coastalfitnessva.com or garydeagle.com. We'll see you next time.